standing gets away with the doctor at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's always a confined setting.
You can really play up the feelings of paranoia and isolationism and things like that with that kind of a setting, whereas you really can't do that with an open setting.
No.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're a superpowered type of character where you can teleport anywhere, fly anywhere that you want to be. It was like, I'm tired of being the superhero in New York. I'm going to go be the superhero in Mexico City for a while.
Right.
Does Mexico City need a superhero?
They need more than one. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they certainly need it.
I'm thinking one ain't going to be enough.
And I was like, how many superheroes are actively in Metropolis? Certainly Mexico City could, borrow one.
Everybody pays their dues.
Right.
You got to go there for the weekend.
Who's spending January in Mexico City?
No, even superheroes become super villains in Mexico City.
Put on a new mask.
Right.
The luchador.
I don't know if this is a con or
We need some more
pro,
cons. Yeah, we need.
one of the things I like about the
If you like it,
more
it's a pro.
confined setting
GM?
is
No.
the lack of resources.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which then also encourages you, not necessarily to accumulate. Like normally when you're playing D&D, let's say you're hoarding gold or whatever. But in this situation, you're more wanting to conserve what you have. You're more aware of the simple things like rope.
Right.
The other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you have nothing, the people around you are that much more important. That's again goes back to the whole building NPCs.
Right. That's one thing that we never really dealt with a lot, which I'm glad we kind of did the past few games in the Sea Princess game, is rolling survival to get food.
Yeah.
Sitting down and eating, 2 or 3 times a day is never something you really deal with in our games. And I know that from playing with other folks on occasion, there are people who's like, do you have rations on your sheet? Then you don't get to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
How valuable was that broken knife?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Right. And it also, depending on the setting, it also lends to the importance of some things. The one thing that came to my mind was the prison campaign where it was Woodside and I were we had a way to make our own smokes.
Right.
And we were bartering smokes for different things.
Well, yeah, these type of campaigns put emphasis on utility players.
Right.
Not being the big fighter might not be the most important guy. It might be the guy who can make the smokes.
It actually may be worse because if you're the big fighter, chances are everybody's going to try and whip your ass.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to look like second banana.
I liked running the prison scenarios because you really get resourceful. You start thinking about things that you don't normally do.
I mean, it's like, normally you just like, I reach into my bag of holding and pull out my whatever because I need it at this point.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I don't have this.
Right. I need to take the spring out of my mattress.
Right. I need to go watch A&E and get some ideas on how to get out of prison.
I need to heat it up and turn it into a prison brand so I can look like another guy in here or something. So.
And so that's a prison that's on your own planet. So outside the prison, there's unlimited resources. But
Right.
put that prison on a space station or on a deserted planet, then stuff becomes really scarce.
Doing a prison campaign on a space station where there's a planet where the outside is lethal.
Right.
Like the prison itself is like the only safe spot.
It would be like that atrocious movie Riddick.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which, even though I know it's bad, I still enjoy watching from time to time.
Or, something that just came to mind would be maybe a marooned campaign, kind of like.
Lost.
I was thinking more along the lines of Enemy Mine.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking Gilligan's Island.
But I was thinking, either the player characters are there, but there's also like a hostile alien, or each player character is a different type of race with different needs.
Different needs. Different hatreds, different...
or just different dietary needs.
Maybe I survive on human sweat.
Interesting thought.
And I gotta chase you around all the time to make you sweat. Lick you in the night.
You gotta lick my ball sack.
Well, that's where you keep the best sweat.
Will you get off my ball sack? I'm hungry.
I'm almost done.
I am not playing.
I'm not LARPing that game.
Are we playing that other game again?
Oh, we're playing Fiasco again.
We're playing Fiasco again. We've been playing it all this time. We just didn't know.
Right.
I think another example we were talking about was...
I'd like to talk about ball sweat a little bit more.
Well, if we're playing Fiasco, my character walks out of the room at this point.
That's why someone would cry if we ended up playing this game.
I shoot you in the face.
Anyway, Mike, you were saying?
haunted houses.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Horror games.
Horror games with haunted houses.
I've been waiting for you to make the ship haunted for a while, Mike. I've been waiting for
ship.
something to happen with the ship.
Yeah, the movie Titanic.
What was the...
It's going down, baby.
It's going down.
On a complete tangent. I found a thing. It was on Funny or Die, where there's a whole thing of tweets of people who just now figured out that the Titanic was real.
Oh my God.
Funny.
It's all these like teenage girls and teenage boys like, who'd have thought it was actually real? WTF?
My God.
The sad part is, I bet there's a lot of people out there who didn't know.
They just now found out?
Right.
They were young.
Yeah.
I
thought it was a movie.
I'll continue on your tangent. For people who need proof that it was real, I do recommend going to see the Smithsonian exhibit that tours around the country. There's a Titanic exhibit that goes around. I went to see it about 4 or 5 years ago. It is amazingly good. You start out, you draw names of actual people who were on the Titanic, and you go through the thing, and at the end they tell you, look on the wall to see if you survived or not.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
I died.
Oh, no.
So I drowned.
The thing is, they flip that exhibit upside down, and it's the Poseidon Tour.
Perfect.
Was that real?
No, the Poseidon Adventure was not real. Certainly not that crappy remake. That was not real.
But a sinking ship, that would be an excellent, campaign. Or, if you want, you could put Titanic in space, and now it's a dying ship.
Or Krypton as it's going down.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
What planet do we end up on? Not Earth, clearly.
So it's a disaster movie, because
it's my undone genre. It's the pre-apocalyptic genre that nobody ever deals with. I want the pre-apocalyptic.
the build-up.
Yes. I want to play. It's the apocalypse.
That's how I always felt about that movie, Ninth Gate.
I love Ninth Gate.
Yeah, but that whole movie is like building up to what's about to happen before the credits roll. And you never get, it's like, okay, the movie's finally, something's happening, and it's
Roll
over.
Credits. Yes.
What did I do?
I love that movie.
But yeah, the haunted house, that's, the haunted ship, that kind of thing. The haunted spaceship, that's
Event Horizon. Yeah.
Event Horizon again.
Great movie.
A lot of people don't like that movie.
I know.
It is a good one.
I can understand why. It's probably not good, but I really
still
like it.
have never seen it.
Sunrise.
They're having it's on HBO right now.
Sweet.
Yeah,
you should watch it.
I've got it.
You should watch it. Oh, you own it?
Yeah, I
Good
think-
job.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about,
Need
Mike.
to loan it to Mark. He's never seen it.
Really?
Yeah. You got it?
I think so. It's up there. I'll look when we go.
All right.
Okay.
I'd love to see it.
We've got that ironed out.
All right. We worked out something tonight.
Well, it's on HBO. You got
That
HBO.
and Dan wants to play with my ball sweat. That's the only two things that we've worked
Not
out.
necessarily just yours.
Oh, okay.
It's what my race needs
Now
to survive.
Now I don't feel as special. Maybe it's
shouldn't.
my specific pH.
I'm thankful for that.
Mike was talking about another movie
Awesome.
called, is it Sunrise? It's
Sunshine.
And it's
Sunshine.
amazingly good.
I still haven't seen that either.
Great movie.
But David Soderbergh remade another movie, which I think is probably a better option. It's
You're talking about Solaris.
Solaris. Yes. It's a great movie.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
very nervous man. Oh, how about what's his name? He's on the moon base.
Moon?
Oh, yeah.
What's that called?
Yeah,
It's Moon?
that's,
Yeah, it's called Moon. It's Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
I haven't watched that yet either. It's
So
on
are
Very,
Netflix.
a lot of isolationism.
Are
Yeah.
we saying that these
Robinson
confined-
Crusoe on Mars.
Yeah, these confined campaigns feel more cinematic? Because thinking about it, it kind of does.
We rattled off how many movie
Yeah.
examples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost every one of these examples. Shawshank Redemption. There's your prison movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Pirates of
there's-
the Caribbean.
Right. Exactly. Lost. There was your Marooned. With a bizarre twist.
Yes.
That's you could definitely get inspiration from any of those sources for a campaign. Sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
The
Yeah.
fewer characters there are, I think the more attached you become to the characters
Oh, sure.
and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Because then you're going to be by yourself.
Right.
Like Moon.
Right.
That poor guy.
So
It's awful.
We need at least one more negative. It can't be all great. Because
otherwise everybody would be playing
it's
it.
right. We would have always been doing this.
Here's the big negative. Getting away from the movie examples, back into RPG. If you're playing in, say, your marooned scenario, your lost scenario, it's going to feel really weird if your character dies and you've got to show up next week with a new PC.
That's a good point.
Where did this guy come from?
For 6 seasons.
Yeah. I was like, how many people were actually there? This is
true.
Way more than one plane.
Yes.
It's a really big plane.
The other thing that I
hated that show, by the way.
I loved it.
You got to be all in. You know, you can't be half in something like that, or you're just not going to have any fun. You know, you've got to, like you said before, you've got to be able to direct your character towards a certain parameters and things like that. Right. You also have to have a strict adherence to the setting. You can't have an open game. You can't say, you know, whatever you say happens, because somebody's going to go off course.
That's why I don't think superhero games will work very well with that, because it's a very open, public type genre.
Well, you have to run it like Hero High and put a lot of parameters on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Or you've got to do it where the heroes can't operate openly.
And no more teleporting.
Yeah, definitely.
No teleporting.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, you also have to suspend some of your sense of realism, too, on some of these things, because nobody wants to role play starvation.
Oh,
you know? Or just the real negative aspects of really what's going. You know, cinematic's fine. You know, the tension and maybe the characters going at each other. You know, or backbiting and things like that. But when you're talking about true isolationism and true separation from anything that is any way wholesome. I mean, another example of a campaign that I thought of is Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
everything's set in the camp.
Slasher.
You know, slasher.
We'll have our slasher game one day.
So I mean, you got to be able to adhere to the strict guidelines of the campaign, and you've got to be pretty much all in, because if you're not, then you're not going to have any fun.
All right.
Well, I think we'll stop there. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
So I was on the internets today.
Yep.
I saw what's her name hit rock bottom. That Jewel State chick, she hit rock bottom.
What? She's doing a porno?
No, worse. She's on the CW. Follow us on Twitter.
We're at Gamers Table.
Like us on Facebook.
Listen to us on iTunes.
Or on Stitcher.
Got a comment or question about the show?
Visit our website, gamerstable.com.
You can comment.
You know, it's occurred to us that maybe people shut off the episode before everything's said and done, and we can respect that. We also can respect people who carry out things to the end. So, as a bonus for those who actually listen all the way through the episodes, how about sending us an email, feedback@gamerstable.com, with your information on it, and we'll send you a bit of swag. Now, it's not going to be a new car or anything like that, but it'll be something cool. Just a little something from the guys. Plus, we'll add your name to a list on the website as true fans of Gamers Table. Just a little perk for those who listen all the way through. Even if you don't want to give us your information, we understand that too. But just know that every once in a while, we might throw something in during the end credits, a little Easter egg for those who are really listening. So we'll be back next week with a new episode. And as always, thanks for listening.